fans, and welcome to my review of Warlock and the Infinity Watch issue 1. One of the reasons I'm reviewing this is that it has recently been announced that Will Poulter is going to be playing is going to be playing the role of Adam Warlock in the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And here we have some artwork by Boss Logic, imagining Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. Okay, so as usual with these reviews, I'm going to start off with my view on this as an investment potential. Well, let me just declare an interest here. So I have this copy of Warlock and the Infinity Watch issue 1 that I bought when it first came out. So I paid cover price on this and bought it new, and it's been in my collection ever since. Actually, and this is a really nice looking copy. It's I might get this graded. I think this would be somewhere in the 9s. I might give it a press and send it off for grading. But I have also picked up over the time I've picked this comic up as a spec, and I have another 5 copies of Warlock and the Infinity Watch. So these are not as good as the one actually that I bought from New, that I've had from New. None of these are 9/8 candidates. They might be 9s, one or two of them, but they're not worth getting graded. I'll probably hang on to these until the trailer drops, and then probably sell them in a raw state. So you clearly know the answer to, and I picked these up from between £5 and £10 over the last year or so. And they have gone up now. You're probably going to be paying £10 to £15 now for one of these. So do I think this is a good investment? Yes, I still think this comic is a good investment. Although the price has gone up a bit following the announcement that Will Poulter is going to play Warlock in the next film, and therefore we know he's going to appear, I think these will go up again when we get a trailer. So I think this is still worth specking in on. And if you've got copies of this, I would hang on to them until the trailer drops, which is usually the point at which a comic hits its peak. So my view of investment potential, score out of 33 as usual. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give this a score of 28 out of 33 for investment potential. We now know Adam Warlock is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We know who's going to be playing him. Good actor. So yeah, I think great investment possibilities here with this comic, and it's not an expensive buy-in. Some of the other Warlock stuff is quite expensive to get into, but this one is a relatively easy way to spec on Adam Warlock. Okay, so now let's have a look at the art and the story. Okay, so at the beginning of this book, this is a picture of the first page, and in the comics, Thanos has been defeated, and Adam Warlock is now in possession of the Infinity Gauntlet and all of the stones. And as it says here, Once I went by the name of Adam Warlock, but now I am supreme and have no need of titles, for I possess the 6 infinity gems and am master of all time, space, reality, power, the mind and the soul. But lesser beings covet my power and scheme against me. Okay, so there has been a court summoned, which is being led by the living tribunal, and he's brought together a number of beings to cast judgment on whether Adam Warlock should keep the Infinity Stones. We have Master of Order, Mistress Love, one of the Celestials, the Mysterious Stranger, Master Hate, Eon, the offspring of Eon called Epoch, one of the Watchers, Galactus, and lastly Lord Chaos. Adam Warlock gets a bit tetchy and says, "I will not tolerate this effrontery," but the Living Tribunal sort of cancels out that little tantrum. The guy who's pressing the case against Warlock is a guy called Eternity, who thinks that he should have the stones. And he presents his case, and basically he goes through the life story of Adam Warlock. Now, the writer on this book is Jim Starlin. This is the sort of Jim Starlin is Mr. Cosmic, and the story here is great. So basically what happens is Eternity takes us through the whole Adam Warlock saga. So the roots of Warlock's inadequacies lie in his creation. He is an artificial being. Here we have the birth of Adam Warlock, and so Adam Warlock came into this reality a being without parentage, a creature who would reach maturity without supervision and uncontrolled. Yeah, that's a great picture there of the birth of him to later to become Adam Warlock. After abandoning his home world, Warlock's next encounter was with sentient life was with the Asgardian Thor. And basically Adam Warlock tries to steal Thor's wife. Basically the attorney says his behaviour improved, of course, when he met the being known as the High Evolutionary. Under his guidance, the young godling's life was given direction, purpose, and unfortunately one thing more, the soul gem. Warlock then became involved with a project that had gone of the High Evolutionaries that had gone awry, Counter Earth. So I suspect that we are going to get the High Evolutionary as well in the next Guardians of the Galaxy thing movie. And in his attempt to create a utopian society, the framework of original Earth had become contaminated. It had fallen under the influence of the nefarious Man-Beast, who is also a creation of the High Evolutionary, and Warlock set out to nullify the Beast's hold on Counter-Earth. He gets crucified and comes back to and is brought back to life. A bit Jesus-like. And then we go through the whole episode where he splits off part of himself to become, the evil part of himself becomes a character called Magus, who creates the Universal Church of Truth. There's then you forced others to worship him as a god. How many millions died at the fate of his false prophet's hand? But I then rectified the situation, says Warlock. Yeah, he did. He went back in time to prevent himself from becoming the Magus. Okay, so Living Tribunal says part of his assigned duties is to maintain a balance of power within this sphere. So basically the judgment is Warlock threatens to use the power of the stones against everybody, and the Living Tribunal, another great piece of artwork here, uh, rules against him. Let it be known that I rule against you. Uh, and Warlock says, and your duty is to ensure that not happening. The only way you can accomplish this is to forcibly separate the Infinity Gem from my person. And we get a lovely phrase here, which we've heard before: with great power comes great responsibility and little happiness. And then basically Warlock backs down, as he knew he was going to, because of course he controls time and space. And he says, as we both always knew I would, I will immediately see to the proper dispersal of the Infinity Gems. Now it is time for him to, so he's not going to give them to eternity. He's basically tasking Adam Warlock to find new owners for the gems. Eternity's not that happy, and we get, you're not really going to allow Adam Warlock to determine who the guardians of the Infinity Gems are. Yeah, he is. Adam Warlock says things, and so I go to select 5 beings I feel will be the best protectors of the universe's dearest treasure, and Eternity has no say in this selection. Don't even think about interfering in this process. So Eternity is dismissed, and Warlock is tasked with finding owners for the stones, and he says, so should we all be. Our separate works await us, but you, Adam Warlock, have the gravest task of all. I wish you good fortune with it. And the final panel of the book: and so I am off to shed my godhood, to share it with 5 courageous souls. I pray they will prove worthy of my trust. Okay, and that concludes issue 1 of Warlock in the Infinity Watch. Well, tremendous, absolutely tremendous. So artwork, I think the artwork fits the story really, really well here. The artist here is Angel Medina on pencils and Terry Austin on inks. Jack Morelli doing the lettering. So story, Jim Starlin, 30 out of 33, and artwork, I've got to give it the same, 30 out of 33. So do I give it my bonus point? Yes, I give it my bonus point because it is such an epic story. So huge score for this comic. So I give this 60, 89, 90 points out of 100. So you can see how highly I rate this comic. I hope you've enjoyed this review of Warlock and the Infinity Watch. Nuff said.